Alright, so we're all done with this problem, and now we can move on to B. Okay, so now we can move on to our next problem. Next function, fx equals 2x plus 3 squared minus 5. And so, a horizontal shift, you find this by looking right here. And you can see how there's a positive, and that would mean it would be left by 3 units. And we move on to vertical shift, and since in the vertical shift there is a negative 5 outside the squared term, that indicates that there's a vertical shift going to happen. And then stretches. So to figure out the stretches, you would go and look at the coefficient 2 in front of the squared term, which indicates a vertical stretch by a factor of 2. So we can go ahead and write that down. Vertical factor of 2. Okay. And so we move on to reflection. And the reflection for this term is no reflection. And that is because there is no negative in front of the squared term right here. So there is going to be the parabola opens, the parabola is going to open upwards. And we can put the domain and range. So the domain is all real numbers as well for this one. And we can actually write negative infinity to positive infinity for this one. And the range, since the parabola opens upward right here, the vertex is the lowest point, it means that the range is going to be -5. So like, as you can see right there's a -5. This is a bracket to positive infinity with the parentheses. And then we can move on and see. So the decreasing interval, now we have that. The decreasing interval is going to be negative infinity to -3. And the increasing is going to be -3, infinity. So now we have all of our answers, and we can move on to C. Hello, welcome back everybody. So we're gonna do letter question C. fx equals -4, 2 squared, x minus 2 plus 3. So this looks like, actually, this is the square root function in the form of square rooted x minus h plus k. Interesting. Okay. So, now the first thing that we're going to look at is the horizontal shift and where it will be shifting. And in the first part, we kind of talked about how to get to the horizontal shift, but now we're just going to get straight to it. So, horizontal shift. The horizontal shift is going to be right here in the term x minus 2 inside the square root, and that's what's going to indicate that it is indeed a horizontal shift. And that is, it's going to be, since it's x minus 2 and there's a minus, it means that it's going to go to the right by 2 units. right, by 2 units. Okay. And let's see, vertical shift. The vertical shift is going to be outside the square root, which is going to be +3. And since it's a plus, we can identify that this indicates it's going to shift up by 3 units. And go to stretches. We can see that it's where it's going to stretch. If you go look up, you can see that it stretches at a -4, and that indicates that it's going to be across the x-axis because it's negative. It's a negative in front of the square root. And if it was a positive, then it would be the y-axis. So it's going to be stretches vertical by a factor of 4. Perfect. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to look at is the reflection. Where is it reflecting?